Talking Nerdy Vlogcast with your host Pablo Gunner here, and I'm here to talk nerdy with you. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to tell you what I've been watching and reading and playing, and I hope that you do the same. Tell me what you've been playing and all watching and everything like that, and hopefully we can interact and everything like that, you know. You can tell me what you think of the stuff that I've been watching, if you've been watching as well, you know, or playing or reading. So, this week I'm going to be talking about One Punch Man, Shadows of Mordor on PS3, as well as Batman Earth 1 Volume 2. I'm going to roll right into One Punch Man. Actually, my buddy, a few people suggested it to me, but the main one that suggested it to me was Glenn. My buddy Glenn. So shout out to Glenn. So he's the one that suggested it. I didn't watch it for a while, but I was like, alright, fine, I'll watch it. I don't really like subtitled stuff, but I was like, alright, I'll give it a chance. So I did. I gave it a chance, and you know what? It is hilarious. Like, it's so great because it makes fun of the genre of, like, the fighting style animes, but it also, like, redefines it in its own way. Like, it makes fun of it, and it's like, we're gonna do something completely different. And I like how, like, they'll do dream sequences, and it's like this awesome, ridiculous fight, and the art style is really cool, where it gets, like, really crazy, sometimes, like, a little too crazy, you know, like, almost abstract, you know, or really fast-paced, really insane, you know, and it's, like, fluid animation and stuff. Really cool, you know, and I thought I would get bored with it, and then the second, you know, episode comes around, and he has like this guy wants him to teach him, you know, and stuff, and it's funny and it's interesting, and each episode, you know, they change it up, so it's really cool. It's definitely worth checking out. So second, I'm going to move into Shadows of Mordor for PS3. I did not find... I went to Gamers Anonymous. That's where I got it. That's where I buy all my games. I don't really buy from anywhere else unless I can get it for free. Unfortunately, I could not find it on PS4 because I know, like, that's something that you could tell is, like, when you put it in, it takes all these loading times, and not, like, just the usual, but these, like, are even longer than usual. You can tell it's made for the next gen. Even visuals, it looks like it's made for the next gen. The way it plays and everything like that, you're like, this belongs next gen. You can really tell. But it's just like what everybody's been saying, which is it is essentially just Batman and Assassin's Creed just mashed together. Like, you don't realize how true that is until you play it, and that's exactly what it is. But it's a great mashup of the two, is the thing. Is it's like, yeah, it pretty much rips them both off and combines them into one thing while being in the Lord of the Rings universe. But it's totally worth it. I mean, I haven't played that much. I'm honestly only on the first mission, but it's really cool. I like the different stuff, you know, story, you know, interesting. I mean, kills the son, kills the wife. I mean, it happens the first 5 minutes, I'm sorry, but, you know, spoiler alert, it's kind of like a Last of Us kind of thing, which is, it happens right away, so I really don't feel that bad. And it's been out for a while, too. I'm really liking it so far. I'm gonna keep playing it. You know, I really wish, though, that I could get a next-gen version. I think then it would be even more so worth it. So, that's how I feel on Shadows of Mordor right now, okay? And third, I'm gonna go with, like I said, Batman. Yeah, Batman Earth 1 Volume 2 by Jeff Johns, written by Jeff Johns. So, yeah, the first one was pretty good. Like, I read it and I was like, that was okay. And then that's the thing about reviewing books, when, like, you do a written review, like, you do an in-depth review, you start to realize things that you didn't notice the first time, like subtle things especially, and realize that there's depth and there's multiple layers usually, especially when it comes to the art. And so I think that's what happened in the first one, and I'll be honest, it happened when I did that with the second one, because I really hated the book after I read it the first time. I was like, this is garbage in comparison to the first one. Like, not garbage because it's not, like, the art is still phenomenal, but at the same time, there's things that bug me, like, you know, this book is seated in realism, and Croc still looks like Croc. Like, he has the sharp teeth, and he has, like, horns and stuff. Like, you know, it's like, if you're going with that he has a skin disease that's, like, rocky and, like, hard, fine, go with that. But make him look more human. You know, like, don't give him the sharp teeth. Or actually, no, they had a good reason for the sharp teeth. It was the circus. But but beyond like the skin, condition, I was like, make it a little more realistic. And then the Riddler was over the top. Like, not the whole time. Like, in fact, his riddles were not like too ridiculous, and what he was doing was not too unrealistic. But then like his actual reveal, like how he looked and how he was dressed and everything, ridiculous. Like, the story was just like, it seemed rushed, like too easy, and then there was stuff that they did that was like really, really weird. Spoiler alert right here. Two-Face, for Two-Face, this is really weird. They actually combined Harvey Dent and his sister Jessica, I think, into one person. Like, half of his face was burned with a Molotov cocktail, and he was dying, and she pressed her face against his face, so her face got the contact burn, and then she had his angry him, and then her normal her on the other side. It's weird, like, and it doesn't make any sense. It's like, why would that happen? Like, that doesn't make any sense. That's just weird. And then they talk about this suit like, oh yeah, we're gonna get a new Batmobile, we're gonna get a new suit, it's gonna be awesome, and then it never happens, and you're like, oh, so I have to wait for Volume 3 for that. Why don't I just skip this one and go to Volume 3? It just kind of felt like hardcover, hardback, it's $25. I'm sorry, but I don't want to pay $25 for, like, I don't know, it just didn't live up to, like, the first one was so good, and like I said, even the first one, I read the first one, underwhelmed. When I reread it, and everything, I was like, wow, okay, it's actually really solid. And then this one, I was like, okay, it's better than I thought it was, because I gave it a weak skim at first, and then I was like, okay, it deserves at least a skim. The art is really awesome, the art is really good, even though there's some things that bug me, I still like it. So, and then for those of you that are watching Daredevil, all I have to say is I'm only on episode 3, but it is mind-blowingly great. Not just staircase, but that whole fight with that biker gang is sick. So yeah, that's all I have to say about Daredevil season 2. Oh yeah, and Pee-wee's Big Holiday was so fantastic. I love it. It's just so funny. Thank you for listening and watching, and tell me what you've been into. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And remember, you can always find us at TNTM The Show, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, our Hotmail, and of course our website. It's all at TNTM The Show. So, come on, talk nerdy with me.